Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie, and today, a little different a video, a celebration, so to speak. Today is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. And a lot of you are going to say, what? And that's okay. This day is all about learning. This day is all about opening up your mind. So first, I want to say this day has been created and been made to be a day of thoughtfulness about our past. And let me get on with some of the things I want to say. First of all, today, my friends, today is a day to listen to survivors, to honor the lost, to honor those found, and those that we still seek. Be gentle, be kind. It's an emotional day. Above all, think, what can I do to help bring about more change? You know, September 30th, 2021 marks Canada's first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This solemn day has been established to honor the lost children and survivors of residential schools, their families, and their communities, and to ensure public commemoration of the history and legacy of residential schools is a vital component of the reconciliation process. From approximately the 1800s until 1996, from 1880 until 1996, the Indian residential school system removed an estimated 150,000 First Nations, Métis, and Inuit children from their families and their communities as a part of an official policy to eliminate Indigenous culture. The creation of the day is Action 80 among the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's 94 calls to action. What's a white guy doing talking about this? And I'll tell you, I think that's a good question. I think we all need to talk about this. I think we all need to learn a bit. I think some of the truths that are stated about this day are a little far-fetched and a little difficult to believe. However, it is the thrust of this day that has taught me, the father of many Indigenous people. I have a big family. I have 4 kids, 7 grandkids, and a great-grandchild, of which only one is white. I have been to powwows. I have been a friend to the Native community for most of my life. Yet, as this day was being proposed, as last year the graves at these schools were being unearthed, I had very little knowledge of the residential school system. Now, I'm not going to go into depth about these grave sites because the grave sites, as I told my son, I was talking with my son this morning about it, the grave sites also, they aren't just children. These graves house more than just children, and it isn't what they house. And they weren't all killed in nefarious ways. That's not the idea, and if you think so, you really do need to read more. It is an indication of a system that should have never been. Rather than trying to be inclusive and be friends with the Native people of this wonderful country, our leaders at that time decided it was better to rip these kids from their families and stick them in residential schools where they live eat, and pass. Because the thought was, and this was our Prime Minister who said that, these, not my words, these savages will never learn, but their children might. It was a difficult time, a difficult world. I do not agree with any of their decisions back then. And that's all there is to it. We need to move forward. That's why I like this day. This day means to reconcile our past, to find the truths amongst the obfuscations, to find the meaning of what this was meant to be. I want to remind everybody, and it's not an excuse, every single community in the world, every single country in the world has an evil past because we were savages ourselves. And we still are animals learning to be more socially adept. And we have, and we will again make mistakes. Friends, here's a picture outside of my son's school, Riverside School. Yes, Isita. Isita is how you say it, and that is the Blackfoot way to say Riverside, which is the new name of his school. My daughter, one of my daughters, has been on Calgary Mayor's Board of Inclusion to design the things that we can do as a community to bring people together. This is not about separation. This is ending separation. This is the inclusivity of white and yellow and brown and whatever you may be, however you may act. We are all just DNA put together in a way that we can say hey to each other. So let's learn to say hey better. Let's learn to say hey with more love, with more compassion, with less judgment. And that goes completely full circle. My friends, I hope this spurs you on to at least do a study, do a little research, do a little learning, and comment below, and keep it cool. Peace.